And I go, la, 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 la. She's got the look.
In Excess, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I gotta Shazam it. Hold on.
Roxette. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Roxette.
Plus,
That was
you had the
Roxette.
X in there, Jason. So
I was gonna say
He's younger.
Roxette. How could I forget
Too young.
those? How could I forget them? They were great. Welcome back to the Stockwell O'Shea Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Don Eldridge with your Max results.
And we have Jennifer Weatherall here talking about style and clothing for men. And we have Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo here. And we're talking about, we shifted a little bit from the style to 8 things that people dislike about agents. And we were on number 1, which was responding quickly. So we will respond. So go to our website, TC Real Estate Hour, click on market evaluation of your home. It's just like Stephanie said, you get a free, no obligation evaluation. You can do that anytime, or you can call us 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773, and we will respond. Number 2, dislikes, having to pay a fee or commission. Jennifer, I don't like that at all in anything. So even your
I
business,
have
I
no
bet you
fees.
get that. No fees?
No fees.
Oh my gosh.
I win.
She wins.
I'm sorry.
So Realtor, Don and I, and Stephanie, we probably have to talk about this one. It says, if an agent isn't able to demonstrate upfront the value that they bring to the process and the home buying process or home selling process, the client or buyer will be disgruntled and not want to pay a fee or be disgruntled at paying a fee. So that is part of buying a house, is you do have to pay a fee to buy your house. And it's sometimes a touchy subject and sometimes you don't want to talk about it. But it's a normal deal.
Well, nobody works for free.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to have someone help you buy or sell the home. Good news, if you're a buyer of a home, the commission is actually paid by the seller. Right. Almost, I'd say, I don't know statistics, but a huge percentage of the time it's paid by the seller. So you can actually have help and representation without having to actually pay directly to the agent. So we're like Jennifer in that respect.
Well, and it's important too to have a realtor. We get people that do the for sale by owner, or even in a family sale, and we always encourage them to, have a real estate agent and get it, written on a legal document and have it done right.
Yes, you can facilitate transactions even if they're to an heir or a family member or someone if you've already negotiated and you're selling to. We had a story or a situation on this that happened last year with an agent where the renter was actually buying it from the landlord, and the loan officer said, hey, we really should get an agent just to make sure everything's okay with paperwork and everything like that. They said, no. We're just going to save the money. We're just going to do this direct with the landlord. They did the appraisal. It was $70,000 low on a $310,000 purchase. And luckily, the appraiser was what saved it. But then they got a real estate agent involved, someone on my team involved to help them now buy something else because that obviously didn't work out. They did not move forward and buy it. But had it been a cash sale or had it not required an appraisal like that or something, they could have really overpaid. So that's another aspect you want to have. And agents do earn, most of the time, I'd say they earn the commission because it's a lot of work. Even though the perception is not doing much on the sale of your home, there's actually a ton of things that are not seen by the consumers.
Well, I think you made the comment, the disclosure. That's just always important, even in the lending world. We have to have full disclosure. People always know what's it going to cost to refinance. What are my closing costs? What are the fees associated with it? So I think if I would say what would bug people, the fees is more so just, like you said, just disclose the fees. This is what we charge. This is what we do. And
communication and also providing value for that. And there has to be value. Otherwise, people aren't going to do business with you for any business. I mean, it's just how it is. So the third one, agents who don't seem tech savvy. So if you're dealing with an agent who doesn't text maybe or,
has a flip phone.
Or has a flip phone, or doesn't have a cell
it's
phone.
okay. My brother still has one.
Flip phones are supposed to be back in. Yeah. They're the part of the hipster thing now. Everybody
Really?
wants flip phones. Yeah.
So you're not able to do all your email and stuff on it then?
No, hipsters do not want flip phones.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we're going backwards now with some of the real estate. And those people that aren't techie, maybe they'll be cool now.
Yeah, maybe. I know as an agent, there's I saw a little cartoon the other day where there was a couple in bed going to bed at night, and they both didn't have. It said, "What happens if you don't have your phone with you in bed?" And they're both laying in bed on their back, hand up at their face, staring at their blank hand, because they're so addicted to looking at their phone.
Right.
And that's something that has to be talked about, but we as agents are on this sucker all the time. I mean, we have to, because your clients are texting you, they're calling you, they're emailing you. You can always get, and a speed, we talked about in a previous show, speed is rewarded, especially in multiple offer situations and in anything, it seems like in real estate. You have to be quick. So anyway, tech savvy is very, very important. So number 4, agents who don't use or understand real estate portals. That would be like a Zillow or a Trulia or things like that don't want to use those systems. That's what consumers are saying. And we do use those. We use dozens of other sites as well. So that one we don't have to worry about. Here's a good one. Number 5, feeling like you're being sold to or pressured to close on the sale. How do you handle that, Dawn? Or do you ever have anybody say that? Or what's your approach to that when people may feel that way? Or maybe not with you, but I mean, if they say that how do you handle having people not feel that way, I guess? Or how's your business approach?
My business approach is more about educating. So we walk through, I know about the areas that I'm showing. We talk about, if people ask about schools, we refer them over to greatschools.com. Yep. I'm not a pushy person. I have yet to sell someone a house that they didn't want. But I do know that exists, especially in open houses. Number one complaint I hear is the agent stalks them through the open house and
follows them around.
Yeah.
Follows around with the phone or with their hey, and just harasses and harasses. That can be very, very unsettling and not comfortable, right?
Yeah, and I think some people get married to the commission, so they're desperate, and it comes out, and that's when I think the pushiness starts coming forward. Yeah, is people really want to get the sale done, and you just can't do that.
One thing, so you want to. So there's 2 tips for you folks, or a lot of tips here, but work with someone who's full time. Number 1, and work with successful people that don't necessarily they want to help you. They're willing to help you for you. When the agent, Don said something great there. When the agent actually looks at the commission as more important than actually what's important to you, that's when you have problems. And I've seen it happen and I've heard about it happen from clients who said I just felt driven, like I had to do this. I had no choice and I had no option. And that they felt like the agent wanted the commission more than actually they wanted the house. And that's never good. So the goal is to make sure that the client gets the house they want and is happy in it. Now, there's a time to educate the consumers and say, hey, this is a hot market, or this house is going to go. We should maybe come up a little higher, or we should maybe do this, or as a strategy, or we should have that strategy. Just went over that today with someone about coming in, and there's 3 offers already. What do we do? How do we come in, and how do we approach this? So there's ways to do that, but you should never feel like you're being pressured or sold. If you are, say you are. Talk to the agent or talk to the person.
Or a good question to ask is why. I was just listening to a TED Talk the other day, and Simon, what's his last name? The why. A lot of times, and when I meet with realtors all the time and asking them, so why are you in real estate? And oftentimes, a good agent will say, I'm passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about helping families and finding that school and that location and everything like that. Sometimes people say, it's good money and I get a lot of free time. Okay, well, but it's people that are truly, again, that's why I love my job. I'm just passionate about helping people when you're at that closing table and they're buying that first house or that move up home or that new construction. We just closed on one yesterday. I mean, they built the home of their dreams. And so I think, finding somebody that's engaged and asking, why do you do why do you feel this is a good house for me? Or, because I'm going to make a lot of money on it, or, because, ask them why. Why do you feel this is a good choice for me?
Find the why.
Why should I work with you?
This is what we talked about last week, number 6, a perceived lack of transparency. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, and there is stuff going on behind the scenes, because I think one of the main reasons people use realtors, or why I would want to, and why I did, and when I bought, and why people use us, is you don't want to have to go through all that stuff on the behind the scenes. It's a mess sometimes, and you can get really ugly, and it's a very emotional purchase and sale. And if the buyer and seller sometimes are working directly together, it can get really, really rough quickly.
It can.
Over something
that just happened
tiny.
to my parents.
Really?
Working directly with, they had agents, but somehow the seller was talking to them personally, and they didn't get the house, and then she sold it to someone else, and it fell through, and she sold it when they had an offer on the it was horrible. It was a bad situation, but they ended up getting it in the end. But it just was it was her childhood home. It was just too close, too personal.
Yeah, and if you're talking to, and I've had sales where a $5 faucet head to a shower or a bathtub, they were ready to just end it. The whole
Walk away
transaction.
over a
The
faucet
buyer really
handle.
wanted the house. It was their house. The seller really wanted to sell, but it got to a heated enough point, and it was because they were actually communicating with each other through an
Yep.
inspection, or as they walked in, and they were home, or just kind of part your ways, because both sides have heavy emotion for different reasons, and they want different things. So, anyway, the transparency
And full
sometimes
disclosure.
isn't always because you don't want to be involved in it, but a lot of times, if you do want to know something, we're happy to share it with you. So, anyway, more when we come back. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
John Eldridge, Remax Results.
We'll be back soon. Thanks for listening.